And welcome back to the Fun Astrology Podcast for Tuesday, September 17th. Thomas Miller back. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your great comments on iTunes. That just helps move this thing up, and I really am serious about growing this audience. So thanks for just jumping on there and saying a good word. If you have one, if you don't, email me at info@funastrology.com and tell me, and let's just work it out that way. How about that? Because I'd rather have those good reviews on iTunes. All right, let's talk about a couple of things going on. So right now, not much. The moon moved into Taurus, so that aggressive energy that you were feeling yesterday with the moon in Aries is going to be more earthy for the next couple of days. Whoosh! Glad for that. Yay! But I wanted to mention a couple of things coming ahead. Normally, I don't kind of do look-aheads here, but since there's not much else going on, we could either wrap it up here or we could talk about a new concept in astrology. So I thought let's just mention a couple of things. Okay, first of all, there is something happening overnight tonight. So when you go to bed tonight at 4:47 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturn, now this is tomorrow, right? This is you go to bed tonight, Tuesday, you get up Wednesday, Saturn will be direct. It happens at 4:47 a.m., okay? That's a big deal. Now, I think we've been feeling the energy for the last couple of weeks. I really do. But it officially goes direct tomorrow morning. Then Pluto goes direct on October 3rd, also overnight. So our big planets of this karmic change will have left their retrograde by October 3rd. Mars also moves into Libra that same day. It happens in the evening, so it's kind of a parenthesis on the day. Pluto goes direct early in the morning, and Mars goes into Libra late at night. So really that weekend around October 5th and 6th is going to be a pivot weekend, I think. And this new concept that I was going to suggest, and I've kind of debated on this, and usually, there's a great saying, if it's not hell yes, it's hell no. But let me just go ahead and mention this because I think it's something that for some of you, you'll want to tuck away. There's a concept that happens every 86 days, 86 and a half days, I think is what the official number is. And it involves the line between the nodes of the moon. So we've talked a lot here about the north node, south node. So you draw a line between the north node and south node, and then move as the sun moves around. So this happens once a quarter. It's either right on the north node or right on the south node. Those are the conjunct points. Those would happen 6 months apart from each other. Or when it squares that line. So we're talking about something that happens basically once a quarter. So this is the sun in its relationship to the nodes of the moon, either conjunct or square. Now that's the easiest way to remember it if you want to practice this at home and mark these dates. So we're coming up on one that will be on October 6th. Now, the term for this is moon wobble. The moon doesn't wobble, but that's the astrological term for it, and it is not broadly followed in astrology. But the correlation is that it's kind of like Mercury retrograde on steroids. And various people have gone in and pulled all kinds of events that have happened, and the correlating coincidental factor is that the sun was in one of these aspects to the nodes. And I'm talking about big ones like 9/11 and like the Oklahoma City bombing and the Cole bombing and the Challenger explosion and a number of other things have happened around this energy. Now, we're also not talking about just the date of October 6th. That's where it peaks. The person who discovered this back in 1930, one Carl Payne Toby, did a study that, and this is where it gets a little interpretively vague, is that the ramp up and the ramp down is usually 10 days before and 10 days after. But the people that I've been reading and listening to have said that it starts as soon as today. I think that's early. And it runs, one person said, all the way to November 13th. Another said October 13th. So we don't have a set of clearly defined rules, and I don't like that. You know, I love the precision of astrology, not the guesswork, because that leaves it open to subjectivity of people's interpretations and opinions. And I think the rules are better. That's one of the great things I like about astrology, is just that it has so much great, precise symmetry to it. But it's a concept that I just wanted to throw out there, and what we will do here is I'm going to tuck it away, and let's just watch kind of what happens. As far as what they say is, it's kind of, if you would just think about Mercury retrograde on steroids, that's the best way to think about it. So anything that you would do during Mercury retrograde, you could consider, like, you know, if you're in a position to tap the brakes and delay something at least until past October 13th, and you wanted to follow this. You know, a lot of people, some people follow void of course of the moon, and we've talked about that too. I just don't see it. And I don't see shutting your life down every other couple of days while the moon is void of course. You'd never get anything done. So I think we have to be practical, and we just have to watch for energies. And definitely the sun squaring the node axis is an energy that is worth flagging. But I don't think it's one worth running from. Now, the transformational energy of Saturn and Pluto, that, my friends, is one you cannot deny. But we'll wobble along with the moon here, and we'll play with this and see what happens. Some say starting today. And look, we got this new tension in the Middle East. So let's just see what happens. Just putting it out there. Not in any kind of alarming way. Observe. Just observe. Continue to set your intentions. Carry that journal with you everywhere. Do the work for your soul. And don't worry about what's going on in the rest of the place. That's the best way to do it. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. Saturn will be direct next time we speak.